Hey guys, I'm Nisa Homey and welcome back to my channel. A couple of days back I shared a video on what I eat in a day when I do intermittent fasting, and many of you had so many doubts with regard to intermittent fasting. So I thought I'll do a Q&A session on my journey of intermittent fasting. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Now if you're a regular on my channel, you know that I lead a very healthy lifestyle. So I'm very careful about what I put into my body. So with regard to my eating habits, I eat very clean. I've come to this point in my lifestyle where I don't eat any processed or refined products. So it is much more easier to me to move into intermittent fasting. And I've been trying to do intermittent fasting for some time now, and the fasting period which I mentioned in my last video works well for me at the moment, so I'm sticking on to it. Now I'm not going into much detail about the science behind intermittent fasting. So let's get started with the doubts you guys have. So someone asked me whether I don't eat after 2 p.m. So my eating window is from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and I follow a 18-hour intermittent fasting period. So intermittent fasting has two windows, that is the fasting window where you don't eat anything, and the building window or the eating window. So that is the time where you eat something. So during my eating window, I make sure that I include healthy fats like desi ghee or wood pressed or virgin coconut oil. So what this healthy fat do is it helps to prolong your fasting period. So during that fasting period, you don't get hungry or you will have that craving for junk food or sugary cravings. So the fat in the right quantity will help to prolong the fasting period. So in my case, this is what helps me to go through my fasting period. So your question is whether I eat anything after 2 p.m. As of now, I follow this eating window of 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and after 2 p.m. I don't eat anything. Tea or coffee or even snacks. Tea and coffee have already eliminated from my lifestyle, so it's much easier for me, and I only drink water during my fasting period. The next question is, will you drink tea and coffee in the evening? Well, I have mentioned this a couple of times already, and I have eliminated tea, coffee and dairy from my lifestyle. So it is much easier for me to do intermittent fasting, and I don't feel that dip in energy, especially in the evenings and mornings when at least during the evening tea time period. So yeah, I don't have any coffee or tea in the evenings. So the next question is, I have a very bad constipation and I take milk coffee with olive oil because I have a dairy allergy. Now with regard to desi ghee, even though desi ghee is made from cow's milk, ghee does not have any lactose in it. So even if you have allergy to dairy, you can have desi ghee. Now with regard to constipation, you need to concentrate on your gut health. In the what I eat in a day on intermittent fasting video, if you have noticed that I have shared a salad recipe, and in that salad I am adding in homemade organic coconut vinegar. So coconut vinegar or any organic vinegar which has the mother. You can also use apple cider vinegar. When you add it into your salads, or if you drink it on its own, like with some water, what it does is it helps to promote gut-friendly good bacteria, give importance to your gut health. So you need to make sure that you use a good source of healthy gut-friendly probiotics in your meals. So this way you can eliminate most of the issues like constipation, bloating, etc. Now if you ask me what are the good source of probiotics, personally I use my homemade coconut vinegar which I make at home. I have already shared a video recipe on it. I will give the link in the description box just in case you want to know. And I also like to use apple cider vinegar, but make sure you use the apple cider vinegar which has the mother. The mother is the healthy good bacteria. Other fermented foods like pickles, but when you make pickles, make sure that you use homemade or good quality organic. Do not use any synthetic vinegar when you make pickles. Naturally fermented vinegar makes an important role when you make pickle. So try not to use synthetic vinegar when making pickle. Pickle is a good source of probiotics because it is naturally fermented. And I have shared a couple of pickle recipes. You can check them out on my channel. And I have shared a lemon pickle recipe on my Instagram highlight. You can check that out also. So the next question is, can I do intermittent fasting if I have diabetes? Now for those with diabetes, you need to check with your doctor. The next question is, can you suggest a small fasting window for intermittent fasting? So if you eat dinner early by 6 p.m. in the evening, you can easily get a 12 to 13 hour window by the next day's breakfast. So if you have dinner at 6 p.m. and have a breakfast at 8 a.m. the next day, that is easily 14 hours of fasting window. And the best part is the fasting window happens when you are sleeping. So that also makes it more easier. The next question is, will one dosha or chila or roti suffice, especially when you are fasting for a long period? Like I mentioned earlier, I do include a good source of healthy fat in my meals. So the healthy fat in the meal will help to prolong the fast. So this works well for me. You can also try it and see how it responds to your body. Always listen to your body and see how your body responds. The next question is, do you avoid rice and stick to millets, cornmeal, besan, etc.? No, I don't avoid rice. In fact, I don't restrict a particular food group. I try to eat a wide variety of grains. So one day if I am having millets, the next day I might be having wheat, and the day after I may be having rice in one meal. So I just eat seasonal, locally available foods most of the time. And once in a while, yeah, when I have a temptation or when I crave for something which I used to enjoy during my childhood or during my younger days, I do have it, but in moderation. So mindfulness is always the key. The next question is, during the fasting window, do you have any other liquids apart from water? No, I don't have any other liquids apart from water, only water during my fasting window. So the next question is, do you follow intermittent fasting every day or just for a few days in a week? So at the moment, that is as of now, I am doing intermittent fasting every single day, and I don't feel tired or loss of energy or even fatigued or I sleep less or I have more stress, nothing. I'm totally in sync with intermittent fasting and it is doing great to my body. So I always listen to my body. Only when I travel I find it little bit difficult, but then I do plan ahead always and make sure that it doesn't tamper with my fasting period. And one thing which I am very much comfortable now is that I work out early morning, and during the fasting period I work out. I don't feel tired. I do lift heavy weights and I don't feel tired. So that is one thing which I am liking these days, and I notice that I have that much of energy during my fasting period. So someone commented, it's nice, but if it not for starving, I would give it a try. So like I mentioned, you don't feel like you are starving because you actually eat a nutrient dense meal. At least I try to eat a nutrient dense meal. So I saw a comment with regard to that there is no protein, less of greens, etc. Remember, in that particular day I used moringa for my breakfast, and I have mentioned countless times that moringa is one of the best nature's multivitamin. So everything is balanced when you have fresh moringa leaves in your meals, and if you don't have access to fresh moringa leaves, you can easily get organic moringa leaf powder. And with regard to protein, I do include boiled chana or some dals, or sometimes when I am in a mood I do eat fish, but I don't eat meat these days. I think it's more than a year since I stopped having meat. but I do include eggs and fish in my meals. Yeah, I'll try to share some recipes with fish and eggs. Again, another question with regard to constipation. So like I mentioned earlier, your gut health is very important. So try to include good gut friendly healthy probiotics, naturally fermented foods in your diet. And also do not try to eat too much of salads, like some vegetables may not digest well for some people. So in that case, steaming the vegetables would be a good option. I have already shared many salad recipes. Please do check them out so that you can get more ideas on how to build salads. A lot of questions with regard to hair fall. I don't have hair fall. So maybe because I do include a lot of green. You may have seen me including garden fresh curry leaves, moringa leaves. I don't use refined vegetable oil. I use wood pressed coconut oil and virgin coconut oil and pure desi ghee. So these are the things which also helps to improve your hair and skin. And another thing which is good for hair and skin is shallots, which in Malayalam we call as cherry ulli. So you might have seen me, if you are a regular on my channel, that I do use all these ingredients, and I also hope that you guys also get motivated to include these healthy foods in your diet as well. Now with regard to my journey of intermittent fasting, I did not move to intermittent fasting one fine day. It took me a lot of time to move into this state which I am right now currently. Read a little bit more about intermittent fasting, and the meal idea part I'm sure you can get from my videos, and I will try to share more intermittent fasting, what I eat in a video recipes soon. So initially when I started intermittent fasting, I skipped breakfast and it was not well for me. I used to have headaches and I didn't have that energy in the morning. So I totally skipped breakfast and break my fast at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. But I was not like comfortable because of the headaches, and I was not at all energetic. So I thought after a few days, I shifted from 12 to 11 a.m. and then I shifted to 10 a.m. then I shifted to 9 a.m. So like that I found an eating pattern or a fasting window which suits well for me, which works well for my body. So that is how I found this 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eating window and 2 p.m. to 8 a.m. fasting window. So this window works well for me. It may not work well for you. So you need to find which timings works well for you. So that is one thing which I always want to tell you. Listen to your body, see how the body responds, see how your body is adjusting to the move you have made. So this is one thing which I want to stress to you guys. And I got a few comments from office goers, working women. So working women can try having an early dinner, like as soon as you reach home you can have your dinner, and that way at least you can get at least 14 hours of fasting. And if you can prolong your breakfast bit more, you can easily get a 16-hour window. So just work according to your lifestyle, work according to your schedules, your work, and find a fasting window or an eating window which helps you and not which makes you dull or fatigued or less of energy. So guys, I hope this video was helpful, and I do try to reply to comments as much as possible, but sometimes I do miss comments. Sometimes reaching to every single of you may not be easy for me. So that is the reason why I thought of coming in front of the camera and clearing your doubts, so that all of you can benefit from the doubts which you have asked. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.